Yeah, so Cymulate is a company started in Israel by cybersecurity experts in 2016. We are growing by almost 70% year over year. We have presence in almost 35 countries around, serving around 500 plus customers. Basically, we focus into more of offensive security, means basically, we allow customers to validate all their security controls using different techniques that hackers around the world use, so that the customers fine tune their existing security controls and get a better ROI from the tools that they are already invested. So the domain that we operate is called as a exposure management, and the exposure management covers multiple aspects or multiple streams. Breach attack simulation is one of them, continuous automated red teaming is one of them, attack surface management is one of them. So together, the term is used as exposure management. What is your exposure to a risk and how you can minimize that? So for that, there are two technologies. One is the defensive technology. Of course, something happens, we protect, but another way of looking at the cyber posture or exposure posture is from an offensive perspective. That means you challenge your security controls using the methods that the hackers around the world use, and then fine tune them. So it's like, attacking ourselves rather than waiting for hackers to attack and then react. No, we bring it to the table, all the techniques that the hackers around the world use to breach every security control, like email security, web gateway, WAF, endpoints. And we ask customers to check their controls, whether they are able to block all these methods, techniques that the hackers around the world are using to breach that particular control. Okay. If some of the techniques get penetrated, then what should be done in order to improve the configuration of existing controls so that these kind of threats do not enter the corporate network or organization's network, don't get breached. Correct. So it's more of a proactive offensive security rather than waiting for someone to attack and then I react. Here I preempt that attack by using his methods. And what Cymulate provides is a huge library of the methods which is updated almost every day, so that organizations' controls are always up to date from hackers' perspective. Correct. So if you look India as a market, there are many differences between us and our competitors. We are the only company which is committed to the Indian market. We started operations in 2020. We have more than 40 customers in India. We have a local established entity to support our customer base, because offensive security is just not giving a tool into the hands of the customers and asking them to use it, but it also means building the skill sets to manage that kind of a technology. Okay. Because so far customers have been using defensive security, so the mindset of the customer is to operate, to be more reactive. Something happens, we'll react. Something happens, we'll investigate. But here you need to train the customers to think and behave like a hacker. So it's more of a proactive approach. So we are the only company in this domain which is committed to the Indian market. We have a local established entity. We have a local support center here, and we cater to the Indian market to build the skill sets of the Indian customers to manage this new technology. Second thing is, if you look at, this is a main key differentiation in our approach vis-a-vis the competitor when it comes to the India as a market. Second differentiation is, of course, on the product and the offering. So if you look at the completeness of the vision, Cymulate is the only company that has a complete vision in terms of offensive security. And this is not only what we claim, but this is also corroborated by the analysts like Frost or any other, where they rate us as a very high on growth trajectory and innovation trajectory. Okay. And if you look at the entire journey of Cymulate from 2016, we have been coming out with new feature, new ups, new product offerings at every interval. Very soon we'll be launching two more new technologies, or two offering is called Cyber BI, which is more of an analytic platform that we have in the offering, and there is a VRT called Virtual Red Team. These are the two things that we will be launching to the global market. So the key differentiator are the execution, the commitment to the market, completeness of the vision in terms of offering, and also willingness of a company to go a long way in developing this offensive security capability with the customer. So again, awareness is always a challenge, and awareness comes because of multiple things. First thing is, of course, the skill set. So first is, you have a technology which is of world's best, but you need to have the skill sets to manage that tool, because that's the first apprehensions of any of the customer could be, look, I get this technology, I like this technology, but do I have the necessary skill sets or not? So having local skill set is one, and that's where I said we have a dedicated team to build that skill set. Second challenge that we see is still a lot of Indian customers feel that cyber is not a threat to their business. They feel that cyber is a threat to kind of it may create a normal disruption, but it is not a existential threat to their business, or that is a feeling. So I don't think that they take it lightly. What I feel is, they need to be more accommodative of the what's happening in globally and how the companies are spending to boost their defense, because today globally everybody is aware that cyber will be will have much more destructive power for any company as a going concern. Leave aside some of the data going out or something, but it will create a serious disruption in terms of operations. It will create a serious disruption in supply chain, IP getting leaked, and so on. See, there are two aspects to it. Human error will obviously come, because that's how the hackers will exploit. But the major error that we see as a Cymulate, is that whatever the defenses are put by the existing customers, whatever the existing defenses, or in terms of investments into security products like email, web, or WAP, not having configured them properly is actually a biggest threat today, because no one knows that I have this tool, but whether that tool is actually rightly configured or not, whether that tool is doing that job that is supposed to do it or not, have I updated it or not, have I configured it, not just as the best practice, but from the hacker's perspective. If I haven't done that, then human behavior is secondary, because human thinks that, I already invested in all those technology, technologies are supposed to protect me. So there is some kind of a feeling that, yes, look, I deployed all this, but if we don't know that those technologies that you already invested, if they are misconfigured, and then human falling prey to all other kind of attack is going to be obvious. So our approach is, whatever you have invested, ensure that you get a best ROI from what you already invested, fine tune them, make the cost of the attack exorbitant for the hacker, so that if he doesn't get any ways to enter into organization, if he spends a lot of time, money, resources to breach your perimeter defenses, he will move to a different target, right? So no one can give 100% security against any cyber threat, but let's make a job of the attack, uh, or job of the attacker, and let him push him move to a different target, because for every attack there is a cost associated with it, right? So to be frank with you, once you are in a cyber world, attacks don't happen, against a country versus other country, unless they are nation state attack. If you look in a corporate enterprise world, where the attacks are happening against the defensive security tools like email security or our proxy or our firewall or our endpoint security. And they are the same vendors across all verticals, be retail or be banking or be airline ticketing or pharma. They are the same vendors because they are the ones who promise to protect the enterprises, right? So if those vendors are common across the world, if they are common across the vertical, then you really can't say that these attacks are only happening in India, because if say a brand A of firewall gets breached into country A, then all those customers who are using that same brand of firewall in rest of the world are supposed to be exposed the same way. So in a cyber world, it actually kind of nullifies the distinction between the country or vertical or a size of the customer. Everybody is exposed in the same way. The quantify loss could be different for different types of customer, but exposure is the same. So if you read some of the reports, India is the only country which has seen the highest number of cyber attacks in last 1.5 years. We know some of the most prominent attacks that have happened, like AIMS attack, or you can say Cosmos Bank attack, or even all the technology startups are also being breached, right? The challenges for the, you can say, Indian customers will be, first thing is they need to be, appreciating that yes, cyber is real, cyber attacks are real, and the managements will have to create the necessary, infrastructure to make the attacks exorbitant. So it's, the continuous validation of whatever we have invested, fine-tuning them, making our entire security infrastructure resilient. That is the main thing that the management will have to do. And while doing that, the challenges will be many. Challenges will be skill sets, the attrition of the employees, so those, that is something that the Indian customers will have to deal with. And also, sometimes management also feel that is cyber investment is really giving a ROI or not, but I think they will have to come to a term that if globally now there is a unanimity that, the cyber security investment is actually required to protect the ROI of our other investments. So, management will have to put in more resources to build and fortify the cybersecurity postures of the organization. So there is a saying, trust and verify, right? I will add one more word: trust, verify, and keep verifying it. So that's the one statement I will make when it comes to today's cybersecurity posture. That we trust that someone will protect us, prevent us. We verify it once or twice. It's time to keep verifying it again and again, because it's a technologically dynamic world. Technologies get obsolete very fast. New threats emerge. So unless you verify, you don't know where a particular technology has already reached its obsolescence. So that will be one thing that I can share, that we know this word trust, verify, but I would like to use the word keep verifying continuously.